All right, day one of Overland Adventure 2022. Very exciting. There's a very diverse group of rigs out here for this event. We have a Isuzu Vehicross. Man, we've got an old school Land Cruiser, a couple old school Jeeps, which is really sweet to see. Some of the newer rigs, of course, we have the Chevy ZR2 out here and a sportsmobile van. So it's really cool at these events to see the diversity of the rigs. So far, Four Wheeler Magazine has done a great job with just making this nice and smooth. Camp was great, dinner was great last night, and there's just a lot of energy right now. Everyone's super excited to get out on the trail.
2, 3.
Super cool. We're out here at Camp Clipper. It's part of the Mojave training facility that General Patton had set up to get the troops ready for maneuvering the tanks and fighting in Africa. And we are actually, this is the runway. So this is the runway for the camp, and it's really cool. What they're telling us is that down on the end, there are just little outcroppings and just little spots to flip the planes around. So they were running stuff so much out here and so quickly over the time they were out here that they didn't really need a lot of places to park the planes. They'd land them, take them off to one of these little fingers, if you will, flip it around and do whatever they need to do with it, and then it was pretty much back up into the air. So it's really neat to see the history. You would drive through here and you would think, okay, it's just a clearing, like no brush grew here, but actually this is the airstrip for the camp. So very, very interesting, and it's exciting to see these things and hear some of the stories of what these young military recruits went through. So we have quite a sandy hill here. Yeah, this rig's pulling a trailer, so they're stuck. They're gonna winch up right now, and then we've got some heavier rigs down there too, which have made a couple runs at it and had some issues. So we'll see how it goes. Might need to break out the Bubba Rope. All right, so we just got into camp. As you can see from that footage that just happened, that sandhill was a little bit of carnage, but got everybody through. That was a really fun spot. I would say for me, as far as the wheeling goes, that was the highlight of the day. And then here we are, we're at this beautiful campsite, and it's very calm. The sun just went behind the mountains, so the temperature is starting to drop. As you know, if you've been out in the desert much, can be really hot during the day, and then you can have some pretty cool temperatures at night. I think last night we were in the high 50s. So that's a pretty big swing, you know, high 50s to, I think it was about 90 degrees during the day. So yeah, good so far. This has been a great trip.
You can still mind.
We can move in.
Make sure, hey, make sure.
We're on the second day of travel of Overland Adventure, and overnight lows last night were fairly comfortable, and everybody just took their time this morning getting up, getting breakfast ready, getting packed up, and from there we departed camp, and we are now on our way into Joshua Tree National Monument. We're taking a back road in to get there, so it's been really cool because there's a lot of mining history in this area, and then also there's been a combination of sandy washes and actually getting to do some real light level rock crawling. We've been on this shelf road, and so we've had a few light obstacles to go over. So far today's been a blast. We're out here at the General Patton Memorial Museum, and we've been here on a couple of our trips before, and it's just such an amazing place. I'll put a link to one of those videos up here if you want to check that out. And so it's great to be back here again and see it. And every time we come here, it seems like they are progressing more and more and making this place even better. So if you haven't had an opportunity, it's an amazing chance to see some military history, and obviously one of the great generals in U.S. history. Just a lot of good information here. So if you haven't before, definitely make an opportunity for yourself to see this place. We finally made it to camp. What an amazing day. So we basically skirted around and through part of Joshua Tree, and then we got to see the General Patton Museum, and from there Red Canyon Trail, which is a very picturesque trail. It's not very difficult at all, but just beautiful to see. And then we came down the Bradshaw Trail. So we're just kind of we're in the Salton Sea area if you're familiar, but we're basically out to the north of the Salton Sea. And just amazing. I mean, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but every direction I look right now, like the clouds are just taking all the color from the sunset. It's pretty amazing. So this has been a fantastic trip so far, and we're just going to get some dinner made and get some rest, and excited to see what tomorrow has in store. Just one more thing to add, we have actually done 2 Rogue Overland expeditions in this area. So if you'd like to see more in-depth information about Salton Sea and some of the surrounding trails, I will put the links to those videos up above and down in the description so you can check those out.
It's nice. It is nice that we can take the kids, and I mean, we're just out here at Camp Coxcomb, which is part of General Patton's desert training facilities. It's mid-October and we're all commenting on how intense the sun is, so I can't even imagine what it was like in the middle of summer. But it's also crazy to see how desolate it is out here, which was once bustling with tens of thousands of soldiers preparing to go for war.
All right, my buddy Marco,
Hey Nick, how's it going, man?
Overland chef extraordinaire. Tell us where we're at, buddy.
We are in this beautiful place in California, Camp Iron Mountain.
end of day 3, and I will say that today has been my favorite day as far as things that we've seen. Day 2, the wheeling and driving was better, and today it was pretty amazing. We got to see 2 camps, Camp Coxcomb, I believe, and then Camp Iron Mountain. And just amazing. I mean, amazing to see what these young soldiers had to endure in their training to get ready to go fight out in Africa. So really cool. And I will say that this group has been pretty amazing. As you know, if you follow this channel, we lead a lot of trips, and we've been on quite a few trips. And so we've been around the block, and sometimes the groups gel really well and sometimes not so well, but this group seems to gel really well. Everybody seems to be getting along and just helping each other out, and just if somebody needs something, hey, you need some shade, come sit in my shade. So it's been cool to see the group's really gelled quite well. So everybody's just kind of settling down, and then we are, I'm excited to see what tomorrow has in store. All right, super exciting. We are out here today, and we ran part of the Mojave Heritage route, I believe it is, which if I caught the info over the radio correct, it's about a 600-mile route that goes through the Mojave Desert, basically, and catches a lot of historic sites. And so we've run, as Rogue Overland, we've run the Mojave Road several times, and we've done a lot of adventure in the Mojave Preserve and Mojave Desert. But what I didn't know until today is that there is more than one mailbox out here. So we've seen the one on the Mojave Road, which most people are familiar with, but there's actually mailbox number 4 that we are seeing here today. Super cool. And so it's my understanding that there are 6 total. So something to keep in mind if you're ever out adventuring this area, see if you can find all 6 mailboxes. Super cool. The BLM rep is out here, and just came by to give us some information and give us these Mojave Road pins, Route 66 pin. So it just goes to show a lot of work went into permitting this trip and making sure that everything is on the up and up, and that we're being respectful of the ability to use this area. So just keep that in mind. When you're out in these areas, just respect, leave it better than you found it, grab some trash if you see it and haul it out, and always make sure that you're staying on the trail and taking your own trash out, and just having respect, because we want to work to keep these areas open for future generations.
We'd like to take a minute to give a shout out to the onX Off-Road guys. The onX Off-Road app was used for the navigation on this trip, and they were happy to answer any questions that anybody had, and also take input as to feedback of things that could be improved. It's great to see how the app has progressed since it was introduced, and we're excited to see how it progresses going forward. Well, there you have it, the end of the 2022 Overland Adventure. What an amazing group of people it was at this year's event, and we feel thankful to have had the opportunity to share an adventure with them. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank Bubba Rope for trusting us to represent them at this year's event. We've been using their products for more than 5 years at this point, and we have tested them in all kinds of adverse conditions, and they always perform as advertised. If you're interested in their products, check out bubbarope.com. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and find us on all social media avenues at Rogue Overland. And we'll see you on the trail.